Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Matt Antonelli here. Today, answering questions for you guys. Today's question is on batting order. How is it written? Do the players have any say in where they hit? And so I'm going to give you a couple of stories and basically answer the question. So when it comes to batting order, typically this is how the batting order goes. You show up to the game. When you walk into the clubhouse, depending on how early you get there, usually the lineup will be posted. Well, it depends a little bit on the team and the manager. But typically most teams, when I showed up for the game, let's just say the game's at 7 o'clock at night, I'd probably show up to the clubhouse around like 1:30, 2 o'clock or so. When I'd walk in, usually the lineup is already posted. And so you're going to kind of know where that spot is. And most players walk in and they go over to see if they're playing that day and what position they're playing. For me, early in my career, I always knew what position I was going to play. But later in my career, I could be playing third, I could be playing short, could be playing second, could be playing DH, could be playing outfield, I could be playing basically anywhere. And then you see where you are in the batting order. And so that's pretty much how it goes. Like, you don't really have any say. Now, with that being said, there are players that will talk to the manager about it. I've seen players that are not happy about where they're hitting in the lineup, and they have discussed it with the manager. Whether it's they're just pissed because they feel like they should be hitting in the 3-hole and they're hitting in the 8-hole, or some players feel more comfortable hitting in certain spots and they may go and talk to the manager. Not that it happens a ton, but I've seen players go in and talk to the manager about where they're hitting, either asking why they're hitting there or asking, or expressing their feelings for why they feel like they could help in a different spot or why they like a different spot. Again, doesn't happen a ton, but I've seen it happen. I never in my career talked to the manager about where I was hitting in the lineup and if I'd rather hit someplace else. For one, I just felt like if I want to hit someplace else, if I'm hitting low in the lineup, then I should probably start hitting better. That's the way I felt about it. But that isn't to say that it doesn't affect you. So I was always from the time I signed, pretty much. When I signed in 2006, right after the draft. I hit in the 3-hole the whole season and short season, and I was never really a 3-hole hitter. I was always a 1 or 2 hitter. I hit a little bit of 3 my junior year in college, but I always walked a ton. I took a ton of pitches, and so typically coaches would put me more at the top of the order because I got on base a lot. I hit 3 in college and got on base a ton, but didn't drive in a ton of runs because I was always taking pitches. They moved me back up to the leadoff spot. So hit 3-hole that first year and did pretty much the same exact thing. Got on base a ton, had a really good on base percentage, didn't hit for a lot of power and didn't drive in a whole lot of runs. And so that second year, I went back to the leadoff spot and I hit pretty much leadoff every year after that. And so I think when I started hitting in the leadoff spot, I'm pretty sure I hit there every single game. My whole time in single A, my whole time in double A, my whole time in triple A. I never hit anywhere other than 1. And I remember in triple A I was struggling, and I showed up one day and I was in the 9-hole. And so I walked in, used to always walking in for game after game. I mean, I don't know how many games that is, single A, double A. I mean, you're looking at over 200 and something games where you're always in the 1-hole. You're always hitting 1. So you always walk in, you look at the top of the lineup, there's your name, whoop, okay, good. And then that one day I walked in, I looked over, and I was like, oh, I'm not playing today. And then I looked at the rest of the lineup, I was like, I'm hitting 9. And so even though I was really sucking, I mean, I was hitting really poorly. I don't know what it was. I saw my name on the 9-hole, and I was just I just felt horrible. That was the sign, I know that I'm sucking, but yeah, man, you really are sucking. We're moving you down the lineup. And I'd like to say that it didn't affect me, but I was kind of mad, but I was also kind of just man, this is official. I suck right now. So, I mean, it definitely, I think it affects players. And again, I deserve to be in the 9-hole. I probably deserve to be out of the lineup. I mean, I couldn't hit. I was really struggling. I couldn't hit. But I was still kind of upset about the whole thing. And I got over it, obviously, after a little bit. And like I said, my attitude is usually you hit where you deserve to hit. And if you're not hitting well, then you don't deserve to hit in the leadoff spot. But it still bothered me, and I'm sure it bothers a lot of players. Again, I never went in and talked to anybody about it. I wasn't like, hey, coach, you don't call anyone coach in the minor leagues, by the way. But I wasn't like, hey, why aren't I hitting in the leadoff? I deserve to hit in the leadoff. I'm hitting 165, man. Like, I should be up in the leadoff. I'm getting on base at like a 220 clip. I was actually getting on base better than that. I was still walking a lot. I just couldn't hit to save my life. I was literally going up to the plate, praying that they didn't throw any strikes so I could walk because I couldn't hit. But never said anything, and I don't know. That's how I handle it. But so that's really literally how the batting order works. Okay, so typically you don't have any say. Some players go in and talk to managers about it. There's a saying, at least in the minor leagues, they would always say, like, anytime anyone complained about anything in the minor leagues, they would say, if you don't like it, play better. And like if you complain, like, man, why are we eating this peanut butter and jelly for the 400th day? And they'd be like, hey, man, you don't like it, play better. Like, you're right. If I don't want peanut butter and jelly, I should try to play better so I can get to the major leagues. But sometimes they'd say that to guys that were like crushing the ball and they're just not going to move up because they're 22 years old. So anyways, that's always the way I looked at it. If I didn't like it, play better. And then I would hit where I wanted to hit. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Let me know if you have any more questions in the comment section below. I'm going to try to answer as many of these as I can. I kind of fell behind a little bit, but I'm getting back at it now. Share the video with all your friends. Try to spread the channel. I'd really appreciate that. Give it a thumbs up. Check out the description box below. I got some stuff in there for you guys to check out as well. And that's all I got, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you later.